You know, there are two people who I think are very, 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 very similar. Donald Trump and Kanye West. I would almost say that they're identical twins. I can't tell them apart. That's how similar they are. Let's look at Donald Trump and Kanye West's similarities. Both have been married to multiple women. Yes, both have been married to multiple women. Both people have also a very unique fashion sense. I would say both of their fashion sense very, very, very unique. Another similarity is that both have lost billions of dollars. Isn't that beautiful that two people have lost billions of dollars? It's just a thing that unites them. And most importantly, the most important similarity is that you could say that both of their actions could be characterized as bipolar. Now, obviously, I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a psychologist. I am not clinical in anything. I'm clinical in everything. Now, the difference though between here's the difference between though Donald Trump because they don't have a lot of differences. Donald Trump and Kanye West have a lot of similarities, but not many differences. But I would say that when Kanye West acts erratic, he might lose a shoe deal, he might upset people on Twitter, he might embolden. Like people at Twitter actually might get happy. People might actually get happy with the things he says. And he still's gonna get, 50, 60 million streams a month or what. He's still gonna get tens of millions of streams a month. When Donald Trump acts erratic, trillions of dollars are lost in the stock market. I would say that is an apples and oranges comparison because apples and oranges are not the same thing. And that is the best way to describe the differences between Donald Trump and Kanye West. Honestly, that's the only difference because when I look at these two people, I cannot tell them apart except for the fact that the stock market is down trillions of dollars whenever Donald Trump decides to change his mind. I have no problem with the president changing his mind. I have no problem with him doing whatever he wants. If anything, I think that if you lose $2 trillion and then gain $1 trillion, I think you still have an extra $1 trillion. I would not know how to do math. I failed calculus. Whenever I look at the stock market, at what point do we just when do we start giving it some bipolar medicine? When do we take it to a psychiatrist? When do we try to stabilize this thing? Because I go on my Wall Street Journal, I go on my New York Times, a place that I don't think a lot of people go frequently, but sadly it's on my front page. I go and I just see red, I see green. I'm a little colorblind, so I don't know what they mean, but I see all these colors and then I see arrows going up, arrows going down, to the left, to the right, diagonal, cha-cha slide. I mean, I see it. I see all these things. I don't know. I don't know what to do with all this information. And I'm not a stock market analysis guy. This is not a stock analysis. But you're told when you're younger or when you start work or whatever, oh, the stock market, this is how, people make money. This is how. And at then you look at it in the last couple of months, it's just up and then down, a hot and then cold, this and like it's a Katy Perry song at this point. Sorry for those who had to, hear that. I really do apologize. I don't know why American Idol didn't call me back, but you endured it, and your ears are blessed for that. I look at this stock market and I like the thing is your boy doesn't own any stocks. This is not any financial trust. Do not come here for financial advice. If anything, go to Kanye West, go to Donald Trump. Lose your billions of dollars. If you got billions of dollars to lose, go to them. Don't come to me because trust me, you'll walk out even more confused than when you walked in. At least with them, if you follow the opposite of what they say, you might actually make billions of dollars. And I think that and the thing is, this is what I wake up to. Like, I could only imagine there are some people, because your boy's still living that unemployment life, starting his day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the only way one should. But I could only imagine there are people that work for Goldman Sachs, Chase Bank, Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, PNC, Wells Fargo. There are people that wake up early, that are traders, that have to wake up at 4 a.m., go into the office at 5 a.m., and they just see red, 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 red. And trust me, it ain't Chinese New Year's. You don't want to see red that much. So for me, like I wake, I'm like, okay, because how bad can the news be at 2 o'clock? By the time, like I'm telling you, Russia invaded half of Ukraine by the time 2 o'clock happened. So you know, like at 2 o'clock by the time I hear the news, and by the time you receive the news from this, you're like, okay, oh well. And there is no solution to this. There is no solution to whatever's going on in the market because words words have no meaning anymore. Because tomorrow, tariffs can be back on, baby. They can be back. It's on like Bing Bong, you know? It's on like Donkey Kong. That's Tariffs can be back, you know? It can be the sequel you never asked for. And this is the sequel you never asked for. Because like Disney Star Wars, you know, you hope for a redemption arc. And then it ends where you're more confused than when you started. And that's what's going on when I turn on the news. No, but Caleb, you're criticizing a Republican. What does that mean that you support what the Democrats are? Bruv, bruv, trust me, trust me. I'm not, I'm just reading the top headlines, yo. This has nothing to do with partisan politics. I ain't here to push one side, I ain't here to push another. Trust me, you need to make your own decision, make your own informed decision of what you want to do because that's what I do. That's how I live my life. You know, your boy, he goes down, he votes for city council, nonpartisan. It's a nonpartisan thing. So I do my own research. I do my thing. I trust me. I dislike both parties. So if you want to get, you know, if you want to know what I'm into, like I dislike both. So, so me trying to push one and push, trust me, I want to hate on Democrats just as much as I want to hate on Republicans. It just got to pop up on my news feed. And I look at all sources. So your boys are Fox News, a CNN, MSNBC, New York Times, all that stuff, all that stuff. So don't worry. I'm looking for I am the ultimate fair and balanced. Thank you, Fox News. But it's just I just gotta see what pops up and what's what bubbles up to the top. And it's I don't know like I don't know how much money people have to gain or people have to lose before they realize it's a joke. And what's even crazier is we live in a world where making trillions of dollars actually is a sign of weakness. Because even though you're on paper making trillions of dollars, businesses are still slow, commercial offices are still for lease, homelessness is still increasing. I see actually more chemical reaction. I see people doing more chemistry in New York City than I do in Dallas, which at this point, I'm telling you, Walter White must be on a national tour at this point. The amount of chemistry reactions I have seen with substances, needles, smell. Actually, and the best part about New York is you get to smell the chemical reactions. At least in Dallas, it's heavily implied that there's a smell. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on in my time in New York. Like, you know, for once, I'm, you know, this is the first video in like 3 days that New York City is not in the title. Congratulations, you've made it. You've earned a prize. Please redeem it at 419nigerianprince.com because I have not used New York City in the title. Yes. Yes, I am done. I have won the video game of the YouTube algorithm, so I don't need to put New York in the title and thumbnail. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked, please like and subscribe. We'll be down. My socials will be linked down below and at the end of this video. Thank you so much.